Distributed 2023, and welcome to my flyby presentation of using OKRs to link delivery to strategy. I am Doug Wilson, the host right there. There's my picture. So, objectives and key results. What is OKRs? What are they? Objective is a statement that's a broad qualitative goal. Qualitative means there's no numbers. A 10% increase in something, that's an outcome. That's not the objective. So OKRs are there to help us measure value and not scope completion. Projects, that just shows you're busy. So if we look at them, they're there to describe where you want to be and not where you are today. That means it's not business as usual work. It's not a description of your mission or your vision. That's way too high altitude. That's just a perpetual objective. And it's not a status report where you jam all the different work that you're doing into one report. So OKRs are conceptually simple. You could probably already describe what an OKR is to somebody, but they're very challenging practice, and you'll see why. So what are the superpowers of OKRs? Focus. It allows us to focus on our highest priorities, commitment and accountability. You should be transparent about these. They should be public. People should see what you're trying to achieve and how you're getting there, and they should help you get there. Alignment. You need to have vertical and horizontal alignment. So vertical, you need to be aligned to management, to your company, to what are the goals that the company or your division, whatever it is trying to reach, but also horizontal. If everybody around you is 5 degrees off going a different direction, you're on diverging paths. And finally, stretching. If you finish the year in October without even breaking a sweat, I think you aim too low. So how do you write a good objective? Use a formula. It really helps, and it provides consistency. So start with a verb, a strong action verb, then name what you're going to do, and then the value you're going to get out of it in order to, and then put that value statement. So let's look at the example we have here. Create a comprehensive digital experience for our customers in order to increase customer satisfaction and increase our customer base. Without looking at anything else, I know that you're going to have at least 2 metrics, and it's going to be satisfaction and customer base. Also, look out for that subjective objective. These are the things where you use weasel words like effective and efficient and sustainable, or excellence. I love that one. You need to translate it into something everybody understands. If 3 different people read it, do they all understand what you mean? So let's look at the example. Optimize the efficiency and effectiveness of our core processes. Yeah. Sounds like a CEO wrote it. Usually means it's wrong. So a good objective would be reduce cycle time of billing to increase cash flow. Reducing cycle time of billing is one of our core processes, but now I know what you're going after and how you're going to measure you got there. So how to write key results? 2 different kinds, a metric or a milestone. Milestone, we all kind of know what that is. A metric, anything you can measure. But if you use this formula and start with the verb, what's going to be done or tracked, and then from X to Y, a 10% increase in something means nothing to me if I don't know where you're coming from. And then add a date to your milestones. It doesn't have to be June 3rd. How about Q3? So if you look at our example again, we're going to deliver that new customer portal by end of Q3. SAT score from 65 to 85. Customer base from 10,000 to 15,000. Also, look out for dependencies. This is a tricky one. You don't want to write an objective of which you're dependent on someone else achieving theirs, or they have to do this body of work, will never get there. So try and strip out those dependencies that really make it difficult for you to achieve your objective. Also, measure what you can control, right? If you're trying to deliver something for cost savings, but you have no control over people using it, don't measure that, right? So you need alignment in this, but be careful with too many dependencies. Okay. Now, how do you actually link delivery to your strategy? Well, you form this pyramid structure. So if you have a top level, like a pillar objective with the highest level outcomes that you're measuring in your organization, you have a hypothesis that if I can achieve this objective and this objective, see this thing happen and this thing happen, it will lead to the top. So if you have net new flows of money coming in at the top, well, you need to see more interaction on your website, more people registering. And if this happens, it could get to the top. And depending on how big your organization is how many layers you're going to have of objectives until you get to the work. Now we have the work directly associated to the objective. That's change work. That's not BAU work, which can exist, just it doesn't link to the objective. But now I can see this work is tied to this objective, which leads to this one, which gets us to our goal. And now all status reports on how you're doing in your projects is linked to strategy and your objectives. If you strip out the objectives and look at the key results, you can kind of see, does A plus B equal C? Now, they're not always going to add up perfectly. Some is the hypothesis part, but it's also to see if I'm aiming for $30 million and all my key results of getting money here, 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 and here by outcomes don't add up, you got to ask yourself, did we aim too high? Are we measuring the wrong things? And if you put it all together, agility has to be part of it. If you're not doing incremental delivery, deliver sooner, not faster, incremental delivery of value and incremental measurements along the way, how do you know if you're on the right path? By delivering this way and measuring constantly, you're able to see if we're going the right direction and if the work I'm doing is influencing the key results. And if it isn't, change directions. So in summary, OKRs, they tell the story of our strategy and how we're going to achieve our strategy. And if you align them from the top all the way down the bottom, you can see how the work at the bottom is tied to delivering against that strategy. Also, pull it out and look at just the key results. Does A plus B equal C? And finally, you got to bring in an agile delivery. You need incremental value delivery and incremental timely metrics so that you know you're going the right direction. Nothing's written in stone. Change directions if you need to. Well, that's my flyby presentation. Thank you so much, and I hope you really enjoyed Distributed 2023.